Hello and welcome everyone. I am Sophus Alexander of Zoho, and today we will be looking at the basics of an online order management solution known as the Zoho Inventory. Now, before we begin the tour, it is important to first understand a little about why Zoho Inventory can help micro, small and medium businesses with their inventory management needs. Well, for starters, we at Zoho use our own application to manage things. This means you're not the only one suffering our product. I'm kidding here. What you get is an application that is tested in real time by its creators. 2. Zoho Inventory will allow all your team members, be it salespersons, warehouse manager, stock takers, or business heads, to record transactions, make inventory adjustments, transfer stock between warehouses, or create shipment labels for orders from your online store and generate reports all in a real-time manner. This can happen from anywhere in the world as long as you have a computer or a phone or a tablet PC with an active internet connection. 3. Zoho Inventory can be integrated with online sales channels, shipping carriers, payment gateways and other Zoho products to expand its capabilities and to cover other facets of your business. If that is not enough, we've got various subscription plans to suit different businesses, including a completely free basic version for micro businesses that do less than 20 sales orders a month. Plus, our friendly neighborhood support is completely free for everyone and we work round the clock on all weekdays. Now, you can try this application by visiting our website www.zoho.com/inventory and sign up for a 14-day free trial by clicking this big friendly button which says sign up. In the next page, you just have to provide your company name, email address, a password for Zoho Inventory account and your phone number to proceed further. The next series of simple steps would be is to create your very first organization within Zoho Inventory. Now, let us log into Zoho Inventory to know more about its features. You will be greeted by a dashboard every time you log into Zoho Inventory. The dashboard is more than just a quick summary of your product inflow and outflow. It allows you with a consolidated view of products moving across different channels, and it also has a few hot links that can take you directly to the relevant module. To the left, we have a retractable sidebar with a bunch of icons. You can access your customer and vendor data, the host of items and the services that you buy and sell, be it your sales transactions or your purchase transactions and reports. Everything can be accessed from this sidebar. On top of that, you can also access some powerful integrations to expand the capabilities of certain inbuilt modules. And up top, you have a navigation bar where you can do a few things. From the left, we have the application button that contains the name and logo of Zoho Inventory. If you're using multiple Zoho applications for your business, then you can quickly switch between them using this particular button. Next is you have a quick create button that will allow you to almost create all sorts of records and transactions without having to navigate to their respective modules. Slightly to its right, you have a history icon that will track all your recent moves and a search bar that can be used to find the things you need within Zoho Inventory. You can also use advanced filters to refine your search, and to the right, the organization button. It will allow you to manage and switch between multiple companies that you may own or manage. Further right, we have a bell that gives you notifications of important things like orders and stuff, and a gear icon that will let you access the settings window, a help icon that will help you find resources or contact as soon as possible, and finally comes your profile. Let's click on the gear icon and open settings. Now here's where the magic happens, as you being the admin get to modify and customize your Zoho Inventory account to suit your business needs and tasks. That is awesome, right? Now let us see what each one of these modules do. Let us start with the organization profile. Here you will find all your company details that you had added earlier during the sign up process. As your company grows, you can add more information or you can even modify the existing information at any point of time. One nifty thing you can do here is to specify which email address would become the point of contact, or in other words, the primary email address that would represent all system emails that are generated within Zoho Inventory and sent to your contacts. Next up, we have users and roles, where you can add people who work with you, create and assign different permissions and roles. You can even limit what they can see, create or modify using custom roles and permissions for your organization. To sum it up, an admin in Zoho Inventory is like an all-powerful god that has a say in what other team members can or cannot see or do. Does your establishment have more than one store or business locations that need inventory management? Then the Warehouses tab is where you can set up multiple warehouses. To add a new location, click on the plus new button, enter the location's name, address and contact details and then hit save. After recording all your warehouse information, you can designate one of them to be the primary warehouse by clicking on the settings icon near the warehouse title and selecting it as mark as primary. In the preferences section, you can customize certain functions of Zoho Inventory. This module will tune the way you want Zoho Inventory to work for you. Under the general option, you can configure so many things from here, right from enabling new modules, approvals and more. One of the most important things you must do is to select a mode of stock tracking for your company. Now there are two modes. One, a physical mode that increases or decreases your inventory based on your purchase receive and the shipments that you create. And next comes the accounting mode of stock tracking that will adjust inventory only based on your sales invoices and purchase bills. Select the most preferred mode of stock tracking for your business and then enable or disable the things you need. For example, you can have a dedicated salesperson field within your transactions that will later allow you to generate a sales by salesperson report. Similarly, if you move to the contacts module, you can change the way a customer's address appears on an order or an invoice. You can also use this place to add custom fields to the contacts module and to collect additional information. Do you need more fields to store item information? Worry not. We've got you covered with the help of custom fields within item preferences. To do so, click on the plus new custom field text and then assign a particular label name followed by its data type. You can either make this custom field mandatory or optional. Making it mandatory will mean that one cannot save a particular item record without inputting some value into this field. We at Zoho always believe that businesses are unique and some of you need more than the standard set of creativity to express yourself while you buy and sell. In Zoho Inventory, you can do that in a number of ways. Right from custom fields to multilingual PDF documents, you can have customizable email templates, and under sales order preferences, let's see how you can add a custom field to a sales order and also how to enable custom statuses for your orders in Zoho Inventory. For those who transact with clients and vendors from different countries, we have a multi-currency module with an automatic currency conversion mechanism. Here, you can add a currency of your preference by specifying a currency code and a symbol. Enabling the exchange rate feed will allow you to create transactions involving foreign currencies in a hassle-free manner. Now, for those of you who are new here, Zoho Inventory is split into several editions, and these editions are mainly based on few things: your country, taxes, currencies, and rules. So the tax module can potentially be very different for you based on your choices. In a generic tax module, you can define taxes and the tax rates that go inside a particular tax group. Price list will help you sell products at a highly customized price, either at an inflated or at a discounted price. You can define or import a price list here, and this can later be either applied to a transaction or to a select contact. Now that we've made all the basic tweaks necessary to start our operations, we will now show you a typical sales transaction within Zoho Inventory. A sales order is a financial document denoting an upcoming sale that contains the quantity, price, and delivery details of the products or services that are being sold. Whenever you're creating a sales order, the quantity of the items mentioned in it will be reserved or committed for fulfilling this order. In other words, this quantity will be taken off the available stock. Let us quickly create a sales order to begin a sales workflow. To create a sales order, click on the Quick Create icon next to the Sales Order tab or the plus new icon placed on the top of the sales order window. Under the custom name field, you can either pick a customer from the existing list of customers, or you can add a new customer by clicking on the plus new customer found at the bottom of the drop-down. In the contact creation window that follows, fill up the customer's name and their details such as tax preferences, currency, etc. and then hit on save. The customer is now added to the Zoho Inventory database forever and also to your current sales order. Price lists can also be associated with your contacts so that prices get adjusted automatically at the time of creation of a transaction. You can also assign default tax rates to a particular customer, and the same gets added to the transaction raised towards that particular customer automatically. If at all a particular contact is stationed in another foreign territory with a different base currency, try selecting the currency with which you would be creating the transaction so that the exchange rate feed can make sure that currency conversion takes place automatically. In the sales order number field, a sales order number is system generated by default, but it can also be entered manually should the need arise. Now, if you're in the middle of a season sale or a holiday offer bonanza, then you can apply a special price list that will affect the prices of all items added to this sales order using the price list dropdown. In the salesperson field, you can add a new salesperson or choose an already existing salesperson from the dropdown. Next up, we have the item table. This is where you can add the items that you are selling to your customer. If you have a ready-made list of items inside your inventory database, then you can either search and select the item or use a barcode scanner to add the items to the sales order. Since my organization here has neither at the moment, I'm going to add a brand new item without exiting the sales order creation page. I'm clicking on the plus new option found at the terminal end of the item dropdown. In this item creation window, mention its name, SKU and other details such as selling price and purchase price, and then hit save. Now the created item gets added to the sales transaction, and a barcode scanner can always be employed to add this item to a transaction. Enter the quantity, rate and tax if applicable from the drop-down, and enter the discount rate followed by shipping charges and adjustment charges if applicable. Now click on Save as Draft to save the new sales order in the draft state, or you can click on Save and Send to send it to your customer as an email. You can send a copy of this sales order either through an email, or you can download the PDF version or print the particular sales order directly from Zoho Inventory by clicking on the respective icons. Here we have a complete sales order, and you will see a few buttons and options around it, including the mail, create and edit buttons. Out of all these buttons, the more button has the most number of options. Options like converting the sales order to a purchase order, cancelling the items in that particular sales order, or you can even clone the sales orders by clicking on Clone Sales Order. To convert the sales order to an invoice, you can click on the Invoice tab found at the top of a sales order and then select New Invoice or Instant Invoice. The invoice creation page pops up with the necessary information populated directly from your sales order. Inside the invoice, there's something called payment option where you can choose how you want to be paid by the customer. You can even get paid online by integrating with payment gateways, and if you wish to set up the integration, then choose the preferred payment gateway and enter the credentials to set up the account. Once everything is ready, just click on Save and Send to complete the invoice creation. An email will be sent to your customers with an URL to complete the payment. Clicking on that particular link will take him to the payment gateway page where he can complete the payment process. The invoice status is now updated from sent to paid as soon as the payment information gets updated into our system. You can track all customer payments against this invoice under this dedicated section for payments. Now allow me to demonstrate how you can record a manual payment for an invoice. You can do this by navigating to the preferred invoice and then click on Record Payment button on the top. Select the Record Payment option from the drop-down, fill up the details and click Save to record it. If you want to save time, you can quickly convert the sales order into an invoice by clicking on the Instant Invoice option under the Invoices tab of the sales order. This will skip the edit page and create an invoice instantly. The creation of invoices with serial numbers or batch numbers will be explained in the next installment of our webinar series, wherein you will be shown the steps to associate serial numbers or batch numbers to the items in your invoice, which will help you in tracking each and every individual unit that is leaving your inventory. Similar to the creation of invoices, packages and shipments can also be created with ease from a sales order. Click on the Create Package text under the Packages tab. Select the number of items that are to be packed and then hit Save. It is time for us to ship the particular package so that the particular order can be fulfilled. Open the particular package by clicking on its name and then click on the Ship button at the top right corner and select Ship manually. Select or type in the shipping carrier's name, and if you would like to track the whereabouts of your shipment through Zoho Inventory, key in the tracking ID to the tracking ID field and click on Save. After ship, a third-party service provider connects with Zoho Inventory to automate this tracking process for manual shipments and keeps you as well as your customer informed on the journey of the shipment. The status of the package changes to delivered automatically the moment shipment reaches the customer, thus marking the sales order to be fulfilled. Now that we've learned the quickest way to initiate a sales process and fulfill the same by adding customer details, items, payment receipt, invoices from your customer, and shipments on the go, let us dive deep into provisions that will help you in setting up your contacts, items, and transactions in an extensive manner. Move to the Contacts module by clicking on Contacts on the left pane. Click on the Plus New button and enter the details pertaining to your contacts. Your contact can either be a vendor or a customer, hence make sure you select the appropriate radio button choice for this contact type. Setting up of contacts in bulk can also be done through a CSV file, which comes in handy when the volume of contacts is more. You can click on Import Contacts found by clicking on the three-lined icon found adjacent to the Plus New provision. Download the sample file now, and this can serve as the template to import your entire list of items. Once you have mapped the fields from Zoho Inventory with their matching or corresponding fields of your import file, click on Next and then complete the import process. Now, the entire contact master detail is successfully made available in Zoho Inventory. Items are the products that you sell or services that you render to various clients and that can be purchased from various vendors in a business. You can either create an item through the CSV file similar to that of the contact import process or through the user interface. Click on the Plus New on the top right corner and ensure that you feed in the details of the particular item in the resulting screen. Categorize your items through the category drop-down box. You can associate up to 15 images to a single item listing, and also you can set up a reorder point, and this comes in handy when you want to receive an alert email whenever the stocks get depleted to a value below a set point. We also house advanced inventory tracking functionalities such as serial numbers and batch tracking, which we will be seeing in the next installment of the webinar series. Click open a particular item from the list view and you can see all the information related to an item stock on the right hand side. Accounting stock, as I said earlier, will be based on sales invoices and purchase bills, while the physical stock is based on the shipments created and the purchase receipts. You can also see the names of the warehouses in which the particular item is stationed at the terminal end of the screen. The Transaction tab helps you find the transactions in which the particular item was involved, while the history of updates done to the item will be found under the History tab. The next functionality, Item Adjustments, allows you to manually change your stock levels without the need of any supporting transactional documents. In Zoho Inventory, accounting stock increases whenever a purchase bill is created, while it decreases in the case of creating a sales invoice. There might be scenarios in which the stock level has to be adjusted due to certain conditions, and there might be no transactions to support the particular stock fluctuation. To facilitate this manual adjustment, choose Item Adjustments from the left pane and select the reason for adjustment followed by the item's name. Mention the quantity and save the adjustment. Now, the stock level of the particular item would have come down by the mentioned quantity. Next up will be item groups. Item groups is of immense help in creating items with multiple variants or attributes. Listing out the attributes will result in the instant creation of items, thereby saving a huge chunk of time. Item groups can also be uploaded through a CSV file through the import provision, and ungrouped items can also be added to an existing item group or a new item group at a later point of time. Composite item in Zoho Inventory is a single commodity that is composed of two or more units and/or services. With composite items, you can create kits and sell them for customized rates and perform assemblies to create finished goods. Creating a composite item is similar to that of the creation of an individual item, where you will be adding the items and quantity of these items that constitute the composite item under the associate items field and then hit save. Creating a composite item will not have any effect on the stock level of the composite item since we have just defined it. So, to increase the stock level of a composite item, you can either create a bundle or adjust the stock of the composite item or purchase the composite item from another vendor directly. Bundling is clubbing together different components in desired quantities to produce a single commodity. These components could be goods, services, or other non-inventory items of your choice. To create bundles, open the preferred composite item and click the Create Bundle button and enter all mandatory details and choose the warehouse within which you would like to create these bundles. You can add items and services of your choice and click Save Bundle. You can also view the bundling details by clicking the bundle number under the bundling history section. The bundling process will increase the stock of the composite item, while the stock of the individual items will drop as per the quantity used up in this bundling process. Next up will be the sales order module. Since we have already seen the quickest way to create a sales order, I shall now walk you through provisions that can be of help to you with other aspects pertaining to a sales order in Zoho Inventory. Historical sales orders or sales orders from another application can also be imported bulk into Zoho Inventory with the help of our CSV files. Click on the Import Sales Orders found under the three-lined icon and make use of the sample file provided. You can also send a copy of this sales order through an email, or you can download the PDF version or print the particular sales order directly from Zoho Inventory by clicking on the respective icons. Bulk update of sales orders can be carried out through the bulk update button found besides the More Action button. You can bulk confirm sales orders, mark multiple orders to be fulfilled, bulk print, or you can even create a bulk deletion process. For easier visual identification, the list view of sales orders can also be tweaked as per your desire. It can be done by clicking on the filter view from the top left pane and then selecting the appropriate choice from the drop-down. Creation of custom views is also possible, where the user will be provided with the liberty to select the criteria or parameters based on which the sales orders are to be displayed. Handling out the invoice digitally or physically will be vital in sealing the deal, since the customer would want to pay us for the goods or services sold to him. Since we have already seen the creation of an invoice from a sales order instantly, it is also possible to create a standalone invoice in Zoho Inventory bypassing the sales order part. The invoice creation process is similar to that of a sales order creation and almost instantaneous. All you need to do is to navigate to the Invoices tab and click on the Quick Create button on the left hand sidebar or the plus new button on the top right corner and make appropriate selections and proceed to the selection of items that are to be invoiced. Click on the warehouse name below the item quantity field to change the warehouse for that particular line item. In the Payment Options tab, receive customer payments by enabling payment gateways that you're integrated with. You can also allow customers to make partial payments to your invoice. If you need to send the invoice through an email, click on the email icon instantly, where you will be finding your customer's registered email ID displayed already, and you can attach any reference file if you wish to in the Attach Reference File tab. Click on the Save button if you wish to save it as a draft, or click on Save and Send button if you wish to send the invoice to the customer as soon as it is created. Creation of invoices with serial numbers or batch numbers will be explained in the next installment of our webinar series, which will help you in tracking each and every individual unit that is leaving your inventory. Now that you've got an insight on the procedure to create an invoice, let us dive deep into the manual payment procurement process. To record a manual payment for an invoice, navigate to the preferred invoice either directly from the Invoices tab on the left-hand sidebar or from the Invoices section of the sales orders associated. Open the invoice and click on Record Payment button. On doing so, a pop-up for recording the payment options opens up. Fill up the details and click Save to record it. You can also choose to send an automated thank you note to the customer by clicking on the box near the Send a Thank You Note for this payment field. Now, let us consider a business scenario where you initiate a sale with one of your customers, ship the product and receive the payment. After receiving the product, the customer might return it due to reasons like receiving damaged or expired product, a wrong delivery, or maybe a fraudulent order, etc. To handle the RMA process in a scenario like this, please open the particular sales order and select the option to create a sales return from the top right corner. Select the warehouse to which the returned product has to be sent back. You can also type in the reason for future reference. Under the return quantity, mention the quantity of items that is being returned to your inventory, and enabling the credit only checkbox will make sure that these returned items are not added back to your inventory, and this comes in handy when the items being returned are either damaged or expired and you just need to provide the customer with credits but do not want the returned item to be sent back to your original inventory. This sales return, which we just created, acts as only a proof for the items being returned. The physical stock of the returned item increases only when you receive it in your warehouse. So to create a return receipt, go to the particular sales return and create an item receive and hit save. Now, create a credit note to provide a refund for the returned items, which increases the accounting stock. Issuing a refund to the customer will be the ultimate phase of this return process. Hence, enter the refund amount and save it to record the refund. If the customer is a regular buyer and instead of giving cash refunds, you can provide credits which can be applied to their pending or future invoices. Now that we've got an insight on creating sales transactions and a sales return successfully and how stocks are fleshed out of your inventory, let us now see how purchases can be handled in Zoho Inventory, thereby resulting in the increase of stock level of your items. So what is a purchase order? Purchase order is nothing but basically a statement issued to your vendor with information such as products or services that you want to purchase alongside their quantity, the price, and other agreed conditions. Creating a purchase order is much simpler and almost similar to that of a sales order creation. Either click on the Quick Create icon or the plus new icon placed on the top. Under the vendor name drop-down field, choose the desired vendor from the listing created already, or you can also add a new vendor on the go. You might have seen this workflow during the sales order creation, and this is exactly similar to that. Fill out other details like the purchase order number, the expected delivery date, followed by the items and the corresponding quantity that you're purchasing. If you want the goods to be directly shipped to your customer, in other words, if you would like to create a drop shipment, enable the radio button which says customer under the deliver to and select the desired name of the customer. When the vendor has shipped you the ordered items, you can instantly create a purchase receipt through the Receipts tab. This activity will make sure that the physical stock level of the particular item goes up. Partial receipts can also be created when the vendor provides you with only a part of the order and not the entire stock. The pending items can be received afterwards and the status gets changed to received from partially received. Please keep in mind the fact that creating a purchase receipt will increase only the physical stock of your item, while creating a bill will result in the increase of the accounting stock of that particular item. The purchase received can instantly be converted into a bill by clicking on Convert to Bill displayed alongside the purchase receipt. Doing this will make sure that the accounting stock of that item goes up. We kickstarted the purchase process by creating a purchase order. Then came the creation of a purchase receipt, and finally it was converting the purchase receipt into a bill to seal the deal. Since you are already aware of this particular methodology, I will now walk you through the elaborate steps to create a standalone bill from the scratch. Click on the Quick Create icon or the plus new button and enter the required information such as the bill number, vendor name, item name, quantity, and then hit Save as Draft or Save as Open as per your desire. A bill can also be created from a purchase order. Open a particular PO and click on the Convert to Bill option to obtain the bill instantly. You can find this under the Bills tab on the top of a particular purchase order. And you can also click on the More button on the top right corner and then select Convert to Bill. If you have multiple open purchase orders issued to the same vendor, you can club them all into a single bill and record the payment through it. Open one such purchase order or open a new purchase order and you should be seeing a pop-up containing all the issued purchase orders to that particular vendor. Select the purchase orders that you wish to bill together and click on the Add button. Fill up any additional details and then hit Save. Now, to record a payment towards a bill, open the particular bill, select the option Record Payment, fill in details such as amount, date, etc. and then click on the Save button. Once you save the payment, the status of the bill changes to paid or partially paid depending on the amount entered. You can see this payment detail under the Payments tab. Clicking on the payment number directly opens the Receipt in Payments Made tab. Zoho Inventory provides systematic reports that can help you in keeping a good track of your business, your products, and all financial information related to your contacts. The inventory, sales, and purchase reports gives you an amazing insight on the ongoing and prior transactions with stock reports that can be customized as per your requirements. Open the Reports module from the left pane and select any preferred report. Click on Customized Report at the top of the reports to specify a date range and then click on the Run Report button to generate the report. You can also click on the Print button available on the top to print the generated report, and clicking on Export As button will download the same in the desired format. With this, we have reached the end of the webinar session. Now, let us go for a quick recap. Today, we saw about creating and setting up your very first organization within Zoho Inventory, creating the items and the contact master list, creating sales transactions and sales returns, and managing the payments received, creating purchase transactions such as bills and purchase orders alongside the payments made. Please keep an eye on our website www.zoho.com/inventory for more insight on the application, and feel free to follow us on our Twitter and Instagram page. And if you have any further questions, you can always email us at support@zoho-inventory.com, and I hope to see you all again. Thank you.